David Menzies for Rebel News here in Cambridge, Ontario. And folks, the reason why we're here is that the parents of 3 girls who attend Holy Spirit here in Cambridge have reached out to Rebel News. You see, here's the problem. They all have daughters in grade 5, and these girls are being bullied, physically and psychologically bullied on a weekly basis by some young bully. Now, that is egregious enough, but the reason why they reached out to us is because the authorities will not do anything about this despicable behavior. That includes the principal at Holy Spirit, the superintendent, and the Waterloo Catholic District School Board. If that school board rings a bell, that's because they were the ones that employed the infamous Wendy Ashby, the trustee on the board that said the most dangerous creature on the planet is a white Christian male. Unbelievable. So maybe that speaks to the rot on that school board, at least with some of the people on it. Well, folks, I'm with Kathy Shippett. She is the mother of Charlotte, one of the victims of this bullying.
She has been punched in the face, kicked multiple times, hit repeatedly, chased with a stick while being hit with the stick. She's had his fingernails dug into her arm and leaving marks on her. He has threatened to rape her. He has spit on her. He calls her names all the time. And this is happening on a regular, almost weekly basis.
Well, I'm with Dan Campbell and Lisa Rajmouli. They are the father and mother of Abby, yet another victim. Why is he doing it?
We don't know why she's a target. He's punched her. He's spit at her, called her names.
Punched her in the back of the head.
Don't know why. And nothing's really being done about it. And we don't know why that is either.
It is Dave and Judy Escobar. And tell me, guys, what is Mia's story?
She has got her arms scraped excessively by fingernails. She's been kicked. Her hair has been pulled out of her scalp. Being told that she's worthless, being sweared at, spit on, and attacked multiple times, different areas of the school, while in the playground and while in classroom and in the hallway, while staff was supposed to be watching this child.
Here's the thing. When you reach out to the principal, as I'm sure you have done and the other parents have done, what does that principal tell you?
Right now, he says it's up to the superintendent and the board to put any policies into place or make any decisions.
I reached out to the teacher initially because I thought, okay, maybe it's a small thing. He had punched her in the back of the head. So I talked to the teacher. They said they were dealing with it. I thought, okay, I'll let them deal with it. And then I never heard anything else from Abby. We found out earlier this school year that the reason why we never heard anything else was because the girls were told to stop tattling on him. The school is dealing with him.
They're telling us that he has one-on-one now. There are different things that are being put in place or have been put in place, but our concern is that last spring she received, there was a little note letter that was written by this young man with instructions on step 1 to kill her, to burn her.
But all this repugnant violence or threats of violence in writing, and that's not good enough for these educrats to do something about this bully?
I'm not sure. We never got to see the letter, and now I've requested it because we have to do some paperwork and then pay a fee to get
you have to pay a fee now to request this form that this child wrote, saying that it's going to hurt our daughter. We request and pay for this fee. The school will not provide this note. They have no recollection of the note. They have no idea what this note is now.
Are you thinking of engaging in civil litigation against the family of the child and the school and school board, for that matter?
I have thought about it. I am not against it by any means. I am hoping that we can somehow find some sort of resolution so this stops, though I don't have a lot of confidence. And I have told the school if there are any other incidences, no matter how minor, that I will be seeking legal counsel.
It's baffling to me. Have you been able, Kathy, to reach out to the boy's parents and talk to them about his behavior?
I asked the principal last week if he thought the parents would be interested in meeting me. I said I would like to meet with them. I would like to come to a resolution on this and see if we can figure something out. He did not feel that they would be receptive to that. However, I said, you're welcome to give them my contact information. That day, I happened to pick my daughter up from school and saw him with his young adult sister. And I did ask her, I said, I would like to meet with your parents. I said, I've had enough. I said, last week he punched her and kicked her multiple times. Yesterday he spit on her. This needs to stop. And she said her parents are too busy and he's a child. And I said, so is my daughter. Yeah. And we need to sit down and figure out how everyone can go back to school to have fun and learn. And then the police have also spoken with the parents and asked if they would be interested in meeting with me and the other parents. The police would mediate, and they said no.
If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't know who I'd be more mad at, the bully or the administration at the school and the school board that Dan and Lisa, they seem to be enablers for the bully.
It's been very lackluster with them. They've been almost dismissive at times.
They keep telling us that they're putting a plan in place, or, we're going to talk about it. We have this meeting coming up next week. We're putting together a plan, and nothing's actually being done. When I talked to the superintendent, I asked him, I found these policies, why aren't they being followed? And he didn't have a good answer for me. He said, there's mitigating circumstances and, everything.
Like?
Well, he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me. He just kept saying that every situation's different. Sometimes some things work with one kid, don't work with another. And I said, but isn't this a policy? I said, doesn't Ontario have a zero tolerance policy? Why is nothing being done? And he couldn't give me an answer.
Have you thought about civil litigation in terms of bringing about some modicum of justice here?
I haven't thought about that. I don't even know where to start with that stuff. Have you thought about that?
I mean, the thought crossed my mind, but I was really hoping that the school board and the teachers and the principals would do something.
He is able to manipulate and get away with everything he's doing at the school because the school realizes that they can't control him. He's already had 2 police reports filled out for the violence against the other girls. We're going to fill one out now. So if the school can't stop it and the parents can't stop it, where is the line going to draw? What's going to happen? Nothing. He's going to continue what he's doing, and more kids, maybe other girls, are going to get hurt, and it's just not going to stop. So we have to resort to media now to make people aware. Why is that?
Well, Dave, Judy, I really appreciate your time. Let's hope the glare of this horrific publicity will make this school and this school board finally do the right thing, at least when it comes to the health and well-being of your daughter and these other girls that are getting bullied.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think the reason we're here is also to protect all the other kids out there, because it cannot be only this school. It has to be multiple schools.
That's a good point.
I think that all children need to be safe. All children deserve to go to school. All children deserve to have the same things. We just need to figure out how to make that happen and keep them all safe.
So what does the Waterloo Catholic District School Board have to say about this bully and his egregious acts of violence? Well, that's a great question for which there are no answers. We did reach out to Lima Salema, she, her, the senior manager of communications for the Waterloo Catholic District School Board, and Gerald Ferron, the board's superintendent of learning, and Franco Petrella, the principal of Holy Spirit Catholic Elementary School. At time of recording, Superintendent Ferron and the principal did not respond to our requests for interviews. However, Miss Salema, she, her, did respond via email noting, quote, "At the WCDSB, we refrain from providing comments on matters related to students," end quote. Of note, the homepage for the Waterloo Catholic District School Board has a statement regarding bullying. It begins with a biblical passage, quote, "Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in the one body," end quote. The board then goes on to note that it, quote, "holds sacred the view that each child is created in the image of God, and that every person must be treated with respect and dignity. Every student has the right to be safe and to feel respected in and around the school. Incidences of bullying result in a negative atmosphere which contradicts the image of God in each child. The WCDSB and its staff members shall not tolerate any form of bullying behaviors in or around the school," end quote. Strong words indeed, yet how unfortunate that when it comes to implementing tangible action in terms of dealing with bullies and their egregious acts, sadly, the Waterloo Catholic District School Board doesn't seem to practice what it preaches. Hey folks, don't expect this kind of story to make the mainstream media. They're just not interested. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. If you can, make a donation so we can continue to tell the other side of the story.